906 Outdoors is brought to you by Cooking Wild Seasonings. Make it fresh, make it yours. It's ice fishing time. I had the chance to get out on Little Bay De Noc for some multi-species action.
The cool part about the Great Lakes is you run into a lot of whitefish, perch, and pike. Hopefully we'll see all those species today.
9 million acres of forest, 1,700 miles of continuous shoreline, 4,300 lakes, 12,000 miles of streams, more than 300 waterfalls, 15 counties, 2 time zones, and 1 area code. Welcome to the Upper Peninsula. Welcome to 906 Outdoors. This adventure began at Stemmick's Bayview Cabins in Kipling, on the shores of Little Bay De Noc. Stemmick's is right on the water, providing great year-round access to the bay.
We're located in Kipling, 5 minutes outside of Gladstone, in between Gladstone and Rapid River. We're right on Little Bay De Noc.
At this time of year, of course, that means ice fishing. And for that, we hooked up with a friend of JR's, local fisherman Chandler Huseby, and a couple of his friends for a day on the ice.
This thing, the bottom of the lip up, into the skull for the whitefish. Alright, so right now I'm using pink goby, and basically we're using large shiver minnows or number 7 and number 9 jigging wraps, and pink and purple has been a great color for me this year, and we just tipping it with a minnow head, just keep them in my bait puck for easy access. And then these are 2-inch shiners that just bought at the local bait shops. This probably doesn't matter, but I like to put it on the hook point that sits flat with the bait. So basically your treble will sit like this, and I put it right there. I just think it helps not throw off the action of your lure. That's just a tip. So today we are south of Gladstone on kind of a series of humps near a break. And basically we're fishing a transition from rock to mud or rock to sand. On the other side of where we're fishing is sand. We're hoping to get on a jigging bite today, along with some tip-ups. We got a pretty good spread of tip-ups out, and just waiting for the fish to turn on right now.
Probably have a flag before we get back in the shack after setting all these.
The really cool part about the bay is we have a very good walleye fishery. We have very large walleyes, but run into a lot of whitefish, perch, and pike, and hopefully we'll see all those species today. This is probably like a 2-year-old fish or so. We got a really healthy population of fish this size, up to about 13 inches right now, so the coming years should be really good. We also got a really healthy population of the 16s and 15-inch fish right now. You can catch these all day long. Entertainment between tip-ups. The bay really struggled there for about 3 years, where the fishing was just, you either caught fish over 23 inches or you caught just little tiny guys, and that was it. But now we're catching a lot more of them 13 to 18-inch fish. Out here, in the morning we typically are targeting walleyes, and then once about 10 o'clock rolls around, we start seeing whitefish moving up onto this hump that we're on, along with perch, and we'll catch a few pike on the tip-ups as well. But we don't really have to go too far for the whitefish. What we'll do is we'll probably hole hop around, and they typically travel in schools of anywhere from 2 to 6 fish. I haven't really seen any large schools out here, but they make up for their numbers and size. We've been getting some really big ones. Just the other day I caught a 27.5-inch whitefish, and last year I got a 28.5 right on the spot that we're on. So there's some big girls swimming around out here.
906 Outdoors is brought to you in part by Blades Bait and Tackle, your hardwater connection to Little Bay De Noc. Anyone who's been ice fishing knows that it involves a lot of time just staring at a hole in the ice, waiting, watching a flasher, taking an occasional peek out the window in hopes of some action on a tip-up. Some might say it's boring, but then suddenly the silence is broken. Flag up. Any patches of boredom fast forgotten. It's even more exciting when the flags just keep popping.
My buddy James and I were sitting in our shack. I looked out the window, saw the flag go up, went out there, it was spinning, so starting to pick up speed, so I decided it was time to take it. And as soon as I picked it up, I'm like, oh my God, this is a big fish.
Let him run if he wants to.
Yep.
Got him.
Let's go!
What a hog. Look at that. Holy.
Let's go!
Yeah, what a hog.
It's a tank.
Yeah, it's a hog. That's unbelievable.
There's your big fish for the year.
27.
25, 27 and a half if I stretched them out.
Look at that.
Just wait, James. It's spinning.
Oh yeah, good fish. Go Walleye. Go Walleye. Good Walleye? Yeah. That's a good fish.
Yeah.
Not as good as
So
Elliot's.
this fish has some growths on him. Right here, on the other side you can see them easier. But like these, the fish are fine to eat. That's just the skin defect that they have.
Yeah, right there.
DNR and stuff, and they just said it's just it's kind of like a bacteria that grows on the surface.
Okay, hold that. Should we go grab the other one or what? You want to get that one?
Back over there.
Yeah, you come get this one. JR, come get this one. Oh no, he's there. He's there. He's there. He's there for sure. Got him?
Oh, yeah.
Good one?
Oh, yeah. Ain't like that other one.
Hey, that's all right though. They don't come. They're few and far between like that. Oh, he's coming that way. Wait, be careful. Oh yeah, he is. He's good.
A hog. Ooh, he fed it too. Well, that's a nice fish.
Jeez.
So what we just caught those last 3 walleyes on was basically like a 4 to 5 inch sucker minnow, and I typically use a number 8 treble hook. Another flag. I swear, James, flag! What we've been doing is we've been pinching the tail off. You can cut it off with scissors. I like to bite it off, but I like hooking them right in front of the dorsal fin because there's a tendon that runs down on the dorsal fin. It just helps hold the sucker minnow on. If you set the hook a little early, it's farther up on the sucker and better chance of a hookup. I typically run a 10-pound mono or fluorocarbon leader. I typically like mono, it's a little bit more dense, but fluorocarbon's more see-through, so kind of a preference point. And then it's typically anywhere from 2 to 5 feet long. And I run a sliding weight, and the reason I run a sliding weight on the bay is because there's a lot of zebra mussels. So when this bait's going across the bottom, when a fish has it and it catches zebra mussels, your line will slide through the weight with little to no resistance. You can still use split shots, but I've had them get stuck on zebra mussels multiple times, and we're fishing anywhere from 6 inches to 2 feet off the bottom. We always like to wait for them to be running away.
Here.
Got him?
Oh yeah.
Big fish?
Good fish.
Take these.
I will probably release that one. It's a little big. Let's see how he's hooked up.
This kid is the expert at getting gutted hooks.
All right, so we like to release the fish that are pushing that 23 and up mark.
Probably
And this is a real healthy fish that we want to get back into the bay. Yeah, I bet you that's 22, 23 inches. You don't want their fins to freeze up, so when you feel them getting a little tight, you want to dip their fins in the water. Your hands will get a little cold, but with the fins up and out like that, you know that they're doing okay too. There he goes.
Today's Wild Game Break is brought to you by Cooking Wild Seasonings. Make it fresh, make it yours. Find out more at cookingwildseasonings.com. I recently spent some time with pro fisherman Mark Martin and got some pointers on ice fishing.
The other thing that we did here today, we split the difference between 6 and 2 pound and put 4 pound on today. So you just got to look at your situations, what type of fish may be here, and there's probably some pike here too. So, 4 pounds going to be more than adequate if you got your drag and or you're prepared with a good reel, and you want to downsize on your reels too when you're fishing so that it doesn't outbalance. It's a nice little balanced outfit right here. It balances when it's in my hand right here so that I'm not really gripping that rod, that ice rod. I'm just holding it and cupping it in my hand. As you see, it balances right there with just the weight of the reel and the rod tip right out there, and a little bit of the down pull from the little jig that's on the end of this. So I can jig it like this, and a lot of times when if you don't have to hold on to the rod like that, and you can just have it sit in your hand, if a fish hits it, a bigger fish like a walleye or a pike or something, you'll feel it because immediately it'll outbalance that rod just with a slight hit from a bigger fish like that. Whereas if the reel's so heavy and so big, or the rod's so big, it outbalances everything. It's not as easy to detect even a bigger fish's bite. So getting balanced equipment will allow you to detect every subtle kind of hit you're going to get from any kind of fish you're going to get.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Rapid River Knife Works, home of Michigan's largest custom knife factory showroom.
We're located in Kipling, 5 minutes outside of Gladstone, in between Gladstone and Rapid River. We're right on Little Bay De Noc. Right now, this time of year, we're really filling up. The whole bay is because of everybody getting to know that ice fishing's full swing. We're new at this. My wife and I bought this place a year and a half ago, and I don't think it ever was open for winter. We turned this not just for a fishing place, but an actual vacation place for the whole family. So when you walk into our cabins, everything's professionally laundered. So basically what we have is like a motel. My dock in the summertime, it's a U-shaped dock. It's fully electrical. If you need gas for your boat while you're there, I have gas cans. I have everything there you shouldn't need or want for anything. If you're not fishing with it, if you're not eating it, or if you're not wearing it, don't bring it because we supply it. Every cabin I have are 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. It's basically a full kitchen. We supply free Wi-Fi, free cable, glasses, crock pots, electric skillets, and everything's new. We supplied firewood, fire rings for every cabin, charcoal grills for every cabin. We supply all the charcoal and lighter. We're right next to the boat landing, so basically you can put your boat in right there and walk right back to your cabin. And the most convenient part about it is right on the other side of that boat landing is a bait shop. I mean, as you can walk right to the bait shop, get all what you need, and John usually keeps that thing pretty well stocked. He's a good word of mouth on where to go, and he's not afraid to tell you.
Looks like a nice walleye. Yeah, real nice. There you go. Sweet. That'll eat. Yep. And see, he ate that head first. He wanted that bait. You dropped it real slow to him?
Yep, right on him.
Yep, today they want a real slow drop, real slow right to them, and they've been either eating it there or we'll slowly then take it away from them. They've been coming up and eating it. It's about a 16, 17 incher. It actually might be a walleye. Oh, whitefish. These guys are really hard to grab. This is actually a small one for this spot, but they bake up real good and they smoke up even better. So all I was doing there is I was just doing that same thing. I was pounding bottom, and this fish had been on my screen for about 5-10 minutes. I started raising up 5-6 inches. He didn't like that. Then I just started raising it just barely so the bait hovered off bottom, and then came in and smoked it about the 3rd time I did that. There was definitely more than one of these down there, so I'm gonna get back down there pretty fast. They typically travel in schools, and I had that minnow head and that minnow tail on them. But these guys, I don't think it really matters as much as the walleyes, where I just like to use a minnow head, but they like a little bit more meat on there, I feel like. One thing I like to do with the whitefish, they flop around a lot on the ice, and to keep the meat clean and so that they're not flopping around making a mess, I will gill them. And the best way I found is you go behind the gills right here, and there's a thin piece of skin there, and you can actually just push your thumb through it to the other side, and they're going to bleed out in a fairly fast manner. It'll keep your meat with no blood in it. Makes cleaning them a lot less messy too. So for whitefish out here, I'm typically looking for a hard bottom, whether it's sand or rock. One of the best places to set up for whitefish is where rock meets sand. The whitefish will feed up on the rock, or they'll be in the transition zone where that rock meets the sand. So the reason you would want to be in the sand is a lot of times when you're pounding the bottom in the rock or on the zebra mussel beds, your jigging wrap or your spoon will be disappearing into that bottom, and it's hard for the fish to find it. That's kind of why we lift it up. It allows them to be able to eat it. But if you're in the sand and you're pounding the sand and lifting it up, and when the fish come along, it's on that flat bottom, it's very easy for them to see it. We run some dead sticks. We'll put some chum with some partial minnows on the bottom, and basically we run a slip bobber rig or just a plain old dead stick with a small hook hooked all the way through the minnow. And basically, as they're foraging on the bottom, their main forage is gobies right now, and gobies don't have a swim bladder in them, so it forces them to stay right on the bottom. And but so if the whitefish are a little more aggressive, we'll be using small jigging wraps or medium-sized spoons with pretty good chunks of a minnow head or minnow tail on it, and we'll be pounding bottom and just lifting it up a couple inches, and hopefully they suck it in. They can be pretty finicky at times.
Well, I was just pounding my number 5 ripping wrap off the bottom. The fish kept coming up and following it, but I was just pounding it and then lifting up about an inch, and he hit me 2 or 3 times, and then the third time he just absolutely crushed it. 27 1/4. It's only the second whitefish I've ever caught. Biggest one by far. I swear he wouldn't hit it with only a minnow head on it, but when I put the tail on it, he crushed it. Weird? And it was only that hook that he had in his mouth.
Time for a 906 Outdoors Cooking Wild Seasonings tip. Next to a plate of cheese is pretty much the way you expect to find your summer sausage on the table. But that's not the only way to enjoy it. Slice up some summer sausage and give it a little heat to really make the flavors come alive. Put it on a bun or some Texas toast and turn it into a hot sandwich. Maybe add some fried onions, a few jalapenos, top it off with your favorite cheese. If you like summer sausage, I guarantee you'll love this. 906 Outdoors is brought to you in part by L&M Fleet Supply, proudly serving the Northland for over 30 years.
A lot of people like to jiggle it to get them to bite, and I find that just a slow raise away from them, or what I call pops and pauses, which is typically just a sharp 6-inch lift, and then you stop it higher than where you started. So like if I jig from here and do a 6-inch lift, I'm stopping it about 3 inches, and for whatever reason, a lot of times I'll get a fish to bite. Like I bring it up, pause it, and I just do a slow raise, and I just miss one. And then, but a lot of times that just entices it. The bigger the mark, a lot of times the more aggressive I'll jig until they show me that they don't want that. Then I'll slow it down. But typically the bigger marks, like bigger pops and snaps, that's a really small fish I'm dealing with right now. And then I'll just keep bringing the bait up. If the fish keeps coming up, I just keep bringing it up. Some of my biggest walleyes, I'll be fishing about 25, 26 foot of water, and they'll come 12, 14 feet off bottom before they eat.
Yep. There we go. As he's leaving.
Got him. Good fish. Big fish. It's not a giant fish, but bigger fish.
Yeah.
Big pike. Really big pike.
Is it a big one?
Yes, it's upper 30. I mean,
I would have been yanking them.
Yeah, you just gotta.
Yeah,
what I do is I hold it just tight enough.
I would have lost them.
Yeah,
I lost the biggest pike in my life because I thought I was snagged, and I literally couldn't move the fish. It was that big.
Roy.
He's close. Stop the line. Yeah.
Another flag spinning right now.
Oh, the side since he's right here. Sorry.
I don't want to tangle you up, but let me know if I'm your way.
Alright, this is gonna be a while. Bigger boat.
What happened?
You gotta watch for that. The barrel swivel sometimes gets stuck on the edge of the ice, and that's what happens. That's when you will lose big fish.
You got it?
Yep.
No way. This guy, look at that.
Oh, dude, he's wow.
Wow.
Look at the belly on that.
Get your cameras out, guys. We do.
Oh my god, he is
Pull it. That's not even that big.
37 and a half.
That's 37 and a half.
Yeah, but
He's just
how
fat.
that thing is. Like, you gotta watch it.
It's probably gonna be pretty quick.
Feel free to join us on Facebook or visit us at 906outdoors.com. Thanks for watching, and we invite you to join us next week for another adventure right here on 906 Outdoors.